Guys, it is Mary.
And Alma.
We invite you guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below, y'all. Today we are going to talk about Meri being shunned way before really they ever got divorced.
Yes, so
and I think
like how wives are shunned, right?
Yeah.
Without even leaving the home. Because
Yeah.
when we think of shunning, because we watched that Prisoner of the Prophet,
Yeah.
right? They were talking about when the wives are shunned, like nobody, like they have to leave on their own, right?
Yeah. You can't even take your own kids.
You can't even take your children.
You can't even see family members.
You can't see family, even your mother, father, siblings, nothing.
Yeah.
You are shunned completely.
Yeah.
And you're out there on your own, which is so painful. Like
Yeah.
everybody has to turn their back on you.
Everything that you know.
Everything that you know. And if they even try to help you or even have a conversation with you, they can get into trouble.
I think it's a form of abuse.
It
for me.
is.
Because my
It
thing
is.
it's
very
like,
abusive.
let's punish you for leaving. And obviously
Even
we
though-
know that this is how you grew up. Obviously we know this is how you grew up. This is
Yeah.
all you know.
Yeah.
We're going to strip you from that.
Yeah.
And in the effort to maybe, one, try to get you to come back,
Mm-hmm.
or two, to really ostracize you, make you feel like crap.
Well, they also tried to say because
It's like
if
mental
they
abuse.
allow the person who's being shunned to still have communication, they feel like that person, which usually it's women, that person is going to be able to corrupt other members of her or
That's
his
the
family.
excuse, but really we
That's
know
the
what it's
excuse,
about.
but what it is
is
just
it is
it's like a form of
legitimate, though.
power,
Yeah.
abusive power,
Right.
Right, and a lot of times the person who's being shunned, they have a legitimate complaint.
Yeah.
They have a legitimate problem.
Right.
But you can't even express that because of all this whole keeping sweet stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but so we know about that kind of shunning.
Right.
But I thought about it that, there could be shunning and you're still in the house. Let's
Yeah,
talk
sure.
about Meri.
Yeah.
Cody had shunned that woman from the time he crossed his legs and said,
Let's sit on the no. And when you took his weenie from her.
that's shunning.
Yeah.
That is
And intimacy.
absolute shunning. Now he tries
Yeah.
to say, oh, it was the catfish. No, you had shunned Meri.
Yeah.
You were still taking her money though. You know what I'm saying?
You were still taking her money though.
You're still taking her money though.
Absolutely.
And you know something else I wonder with this whole thing? I know that for a long time Janelle was doing the finances.
Right.
But remember when she and Cody were like on the outs now, and she was saying that it has been about 6 years or something that the finance stuff has changed, which I take it back to when Robbie married Cody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe a couple years after that.
I'm sure Janelle
That
had
even though
whiplash
he
when that happened.
promised that she was nothing with the finances were going to change, meaning she was going to continue to be doing the finances.
Right.
That changed, and now all of a sudden, him and Robin making like decisions of the money that they receive from these wives of what to do that will be beneficial to them too
Right.
and their family,
Yeah.
not including the other wives. So Meri was shunned. I mean, just think about even in Vegas, was he? Peyton did not even mention Meri that he was going to marry. He was
No.
seeing. Who was it? I don't know if it was Peyton who told us about the 5 days. I think was it Peyton who told us about the 5 days, 4 to 5 days he was out. Anyway,
can't
whoever
remember.
told us about that, but he wasn't seeing Meri at all because they said it was Janelle and Christine. It was every other weekend.
Yeah.
It was every other week he will see Janelle or Christine.
Right.
Every 2 weeks, right? I mean, even that is shunning. So he was shunning Meri in Vegas.
Yeah.
Completely shunning her in
Yeah.
Vegas. That's even how she got onto the whole catfish thing.
Right.
Anytime he came to the house, she said he was so mean to her,
Right.
which we know men do that. When they want to break up with you,
Yeah.
they come to the house, they're mean to you,
Yeah.
they try to start an argument. You can go out there and just say the sky is blue, and they're going to argue with you so that they can storm out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And he was doing that so often that Meri says, you know something, maybe we need to have a break from each other. Like, I don't want you coming right now.
Yeah.
He didn't say don't come at all.
Yeah.
He tried to make it like, oh, she is saying don't come at all because she was getting ready to start an affair. That's pretty much what he was trying to insinuate.
Yeah.
No, she says don't come at all because you were being an ass.
Yeah, and it also was so
And he
bad
was
that
old.
Mary actually did not even want you around.
That's how
Mary,
bad
who
he
always
was.
wants you around,
Exactly.
told you,
That's
please
just
stay the hell away from the house.
That's how mean he was to her.
Yeah.
And she
And
did-
probably abusive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure he was yelling at her.
I'm sure
he
that
was calling her all the
emotional
names in the
abuse,
book.
He knows her triggers.
Yeah.
He knows her triggers.
I feel like they're probably very toxic to one another.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Mary.
So she was definitely shunned. I feel as though. What happened?
That cat's gone up the tree.
What tree?
That tree.
How
She's
do
gone
you
up to
know?
the very top. You don't see her in the trees, in the leaves?
She's in the leaves?
At the top where the branches, was it?
She's up. How did she get up there?
You didn't see her jump from the floor to the tree trunk? And then just started running?
I don't. I hope she's okay. I hope she'll be able to come down. Because we're doing a video right now. Can't help her. She's still just a kitten. Anywho. It's so cute to see our cat when she's running around though. She has a lot of fun. But anyway. Yikes.
Anyway.
Anywho. But let me talk about the shunning of Christine.
Yeah.
Right? Christine, you know, he was shunning her too.
Yeah.
He has started shunning her. She's there kissing Robin's behind, but Cody still shuns her.
Yeah.
He's still coming to see her every other week for 2 days. He's still doing that, only seeing her 4 times in the month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, coming to her house twice in the month. And when he comes, he stays for a couple of days. And then goes back to Robin and stays there for 4 to 5 days. Then goes to Janelle, stays for 2 days. Then goes back to Robin. Then comes back to Christine.
Yeah.
So she was only seeing twice in the month.
Yeah.
You know? And she was doing all of this stuff. He was already shunning her.
Yeah.
She was doing all of this stuff. Okay, if I kiss up to Robin and her children, he will love me. He will show love to me. He'll come, probably will increase the time that he sees me.
Yeah.
Which he never did.
No.
He never did. So by the time you got to Flagstaff, did you see how blotchy Christine started looking?
Oh my God!
Like,
The
she
color
was-
went away
She
from
was
her
so
face.
blotchy.
Very
You thought
pale.
that she had like red rashes or something, like these angry red rashes on her body.
Yeah.
Like her whole body, even on her arms, were filled with these red blotches. She was so out of her element.
Yeah.
She was so broken.
Yeah.
She was doing all the things that you said that if she does, you will love her.
Yeah.
And then you all move to Flagstaff. She decides to choose the place you wanted because she liked Cottonwood.
Yeah.
But because Robbie loved Coyote Pass, okay, I
The
love
mountains
it too.
are singing to me.
You know, Gwen, you go sit your tail somewhere. You're not gonna be here anyway. I have to be here with my hubby. So forget you. Yes, I love Coyote Pass too.
4 years later, divorced. I'm not throwing shade. I'm not throwing shade.
You know?
But I mean, it was
Like-
quite a, even Gwendolyn
this
looked like she was
woman
having whiplash.
shunned. She was shot. And then the other shunning, Garrison and Gabe.
Well, I
But-
think he shunned Janelle through her kids.
Oh,
And that was the
absolutely.
only thing she really cared about. Not you.
Absolutely.
She didn't give a damn. She just wanted you to come or change her
He-
oil, come do the trees when she needed it, and that's it. But I mean, I think her kids were her pride and joy. Even though she was not like a stay-at-home mom or whatever, she worked to provide.
Yes.
Because I mean, we were talking about women's work the other day.
Mhm.
Like, it's important for us to do our women's work right,
Absolutely.
which is super important.
It is.
But we really can't do it at peace. If we have to go out there and be a man and get in a check.
No, you can't. You can't.
You
and
can't. That's
cannot
why it's
do it the way
important
it's supposed to be done.
to be done.
That's
So what
why
the man
we're-
does is also important. So Janelle bringing in
Absolutely.
finances was also very
Yeah,
important. She
yeah,
was doing something,
absolutely.
providing.
Yeah.
But women's work, I still do believe, is more important than bringing home a paycheck. But
Yeah,
we need that
absolutely.
security
But
in
you
order
still
for
need
us
that,
to be
exactly.
at peace.
And
Because
do
if
the
we
work.
don't have funds
Right.
to take care of our kids,
We
because
are
we
not at
still live in
peace.
America,
Yes.
we ain't at peace. So,
Yes, we
I
are not
mean,
in peace. Yeah.
yeah, it goes hand in hand.
It
That's
does.
why,
It really
you know,
does.
God made it the way He did.
Yeah.
But I felt like, I mean, even though she was not a stay-at-home mom, she still cared for her kids in her own way. And I felt when she realized that Cody was just
Was
actually going
shunning.
out of his way to
Yeah.
just be a complete ASS,
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, he's getting to her through her kids, and he knows that's the only way that he can reach her.
That he can reach her, exactly.
Yeah.
He knows what to do.
Right.
To break these women, to get them to respond the way he wants them to respond.
Right.
And he does a lot of shunning, and he talks about, even in the tell-alls, he kept on talking about.
You didn't see that crow going up underneath that tree.
I know, and he came back out. But it didn't have the cat in its claws, so maybe that's why she went up the tree, to hide from the crow. These crows are big hair.
They're
like they
big
look like
as
some
hell.
damn vultures. Everything's bigger. It seems as though we are in that place, Avatar's place.
Yeah.
What was that place called? I can't remember.
Namakayo? What was it?
I don't know. It's the other way. It's not Namakaya. Where everything is bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, they're beautiful, but damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so he goes out of his way to shun, like, her children. He knows that's going to get to her.
Yeah.
He knows with Christine, I take away my weenie from her.
My love and affection.
I take away our playful stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Our intimacy, because obviously that 2 times a year is not enough for Christine. And then Meri, I'm just not going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I won't
Meri
even give her the time
very
of day.
Easily and quickly. So he's
been breaking her for years.
Yeah.
He's broken her from the very beginning. Before they even started dating, he had broken her.
And just to show her that you're really not enough for me. I mean, from the very beginning, he was already looking for women.
He proposed 3 times, and each time she had to tell him how to do it.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that, but from the very beginning...
We can get married if you want to.
Yeah. From the very beginning, he was also having... they had about a couple of...
They were courting a 17-year-old.
Yes.
That was like in the beginning.
Yeah.
He had his eye on Janelle, her sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And then he was looking at Christine, and she hated Christine, growling from across the field.
I know. We saw the growl in that.
That was quite
video.
disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I understand you calling somebody's child a misfit, but you don't start growling like some creature
It was
on live.
The response was, listen. I mean, she was tame, saying "F you." But you could have just told her to fuck off.
Yeah.
And called
she
her
was
all
quite
kinds of names
tamed
in the book of whoever said that, man or woman.
I am proud that she did get off the live, because it could have gotten much worse, even though it was already going downhill.
I think she realized that.
Because someone told her to calm down.
Yeah, so I said calm down or whatever, because all the other stuff she was doing, especially when you have the backdrop of the abuse, right? And alleged abuse, right?
Yeah. Everything is allegedly.
That is scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they do.
Yeah.
Cody has been shunning these women. They're right there in the house.
Yeah.
But he shuns them. And I'm
sad.
sure other polygamous
as punishment to kind of get
too.
them to do what he wants.
Exactly. To bend to his will.
Yeah. To break them in sense.
His will. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why he was so angry with Janelle.
Yeah.
When she kept her loyalty to Christine.
Yeah.
Because Janelle is like, no, this is where I don't.
This is where I sign off. This woman has raised my kids when you weren't there. She's been a 24/7 parent, and you want me to spit on her?
Yeah. He was really
when you are
upset
barely
about that.
here anyway. Yeah, I ain't doing
he
that.
He was really mad about that because
but
when he remember that time when he was carrying that little stick and acting like a menace.
Yeah.
And he says, as she was, he says that in the confessional, Janelle has not shown me any empathy, but she has all this empathy to show to Christine.
Because Christine has been there. She's actually been there. Like, where have you been? Everywhere but the home.
I know.
And Rob is home, though.
Rob is home.
Yeah.
Of course. Robin wants for nothing. I mean, the day when he pulled her and said, "You too pretty to cook and clean."
I was like, whoa.
And she kind of, and then he went in for the smooch
and she was like,
yeah.
Okay.
She had to hold herself really still.
She reminds me of Janelle with the whole affection thing.
Yeah, you could tell that she doesn't feel him physically.
Cody actually, I mean, he was okay looking when he was a teenager, but he really looks horrible now. Like, I mean, he much worse. I just
there's a hardness to him now.
There's a hardness, there's a coolness, and there's also
kind of contorting his facial hair.
And I'm not saying Cody was cute when he was a teenager.
He was not. He was okay. He was
okay.
He wasn't ugly.
He wasn't ugly. But he was
why
okay. He
would
was
be a
decent.
heartthrob. You know, he had the high top hair, had the blonde hair.
I wouldn't say
right?
all that.
Probably, I don't know if he had blue eyes or gray eyes, right? So I can see why he will be considered a heartthrob. And then he was tall, right?
Is he tall?
Maybe not
Because
above
Christine,
6
isn't
foot.
Christine taller than him?
No, she's not. She's actually short. And Christine's a tall woman. Robin is taller than Christine. Actually.
You're lying.
No, she is. Because I saw Robin is the tallest, then it's Christine.
I'm shocked. Robin doesn't really
Then I
seem
think
that
it's
tall.
Meri and Janelle kind of are the same.
I think maybe because she's skinnier. That's why it doesn't seem like she's that tall. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, but I would have thought Rob. I thought Rob was the shortest.
No, she's not.
Who's the shortest?
It's
Janelle,
because,
probably.
It's because she pretends. She pretends this, damsel in distress. Cody, help me against the witches.
She acts small. That's what
But
it is.
yeah, so the shunning that goes on, you could be at home
Yeah.
and be shunned.
Yeah.
And I do believe it goes on in other polygamous families.
Absolutely.
This is something that is taught to these men.
I think
so.
I mean, yes, obviously they're not part of the FODS, but I do think because the FODS, I think, is the root of that whole religion.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of
The
the
LDS,
doctrines
yeah.
actually permeate
out.
into the different sects.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And if FLDS is not the main thing or whatever, please let me know, Diane, or anyone who
First
knows.
it was LDS, which is the Mormon faith, right?
No, it was
Those
the
are Latter-day
Mormons.
Saints. Yes, the
Mor-
LDS is
it's
the Mormons.
Mormons.
Is the same thing. They're described as Latter-day Saints.
Well,
right?
wouldn't it be the fundamentalist Mormons first?
No,
No,
it's actually
fundamentalist
not.
Latter-day Saints.
FLDS came from the Mormons. First it was the Mormons, which is the same as LDS. This is what I understand it as. And
Right.
then FLDS came from that.
Right.
But they continued the teachings of polygamy. The Mormons had gotten away from that.
But if that-
FLDS wanted to keep it. So they branched off as FLDS. So that means.
But what do you think they will be first? Because they kept the religion, like, with the polygamy, right? And
So
then the
that's
LDS
why-
is the more modern, where they're like, we don't do polygamy anymore.
Well, that's why they call FLDS, because we're fundamentalists.
Oh,
we're
we're
still
the
preaching the
roots.
root exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the FLDS, and then I think the AUB, which is what Cody, that came from the FLDS. That's the apostolate something. I wrote it down before. It's in my phone somewhere. But yes, that comes from the FLDS. That's how I understand
It's
it.
so crazy how much we've learned about polygamy and Mormon
We
culture
surely
through
have.
this show. It's
We actually
ridiculous.
We surely have.
I'm kind of proud of my new knowledge. I'm not gonna lie. I know more about another religion.
I
mean,
know-
obviously, I know about Christianity
You
because
know-
most of our family is Christian.
Grandma at one time was a Mormon.
Oh, get out!
She surely was when she was in Arizona.
Wow.
She surely
I thought she was always Christian. 'Cause I know your dad was Muslim,
Yeah, he's always Muslim. Yeah.
and so she was Christian. Then she became Mormon. Or
Yes.
she was more.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And she was not having the coffee or the tea. They don't drink coffee or tea. And that's what I remember because my mom was an avid coffee drinker and tea
Oh, wow.
drinker. So anytime she came for a visit, I always made sure I had all these different blends of coffees and teas. I remember one day she comes in to visit and then she says, "Oh, I don't drink." I said, "Oh my goodness, I bought
I
all this
remember
expensive
that.
stuff and you don't drink that no more." She said, "No, I don't drink that. I am Mormon now."
Well, I
And
wonder
she
what
gave
she is
so much
now.
money. Like they give a lot in charity.
Yeah.
And she gave so much money, I remember, to them.
But I wonder what
But-
she is now because she's married to a Muslim.
Right.
I remember she got married to the Muslim.
Yeah, she
Grandma
got
has
married- yeah,
discovered
her
all of the
second-
religions.
Yeah, her second marriage has now been to a Muslim. And now, she seems to like a lot of things about Islam.
Yeah, she loved
Which is
the
very
marriage.
interesting.
Was it the marriage contract and everything?
Yeah, the
he
marriage
promises
contract,
to
she
love
loves that,
me
yeah.
and pay for. Was it? I can't remember what it was in
Take
the
care
contract.
of her and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Yes, y'all.
But anywho,
Thank y'all for always going on our little roller coaster tangents.
more about our families.
Yes, give you guys an opportunity to be a little nosy. But Innocent Mary,
And
we invite you guys to like,
share,
subscribe
and comment
down below.